What's up, guys? HellaBass back with another video. This is another one of the long form videos. This is an IG live replay with Brian Riesgraf from Punch Fishing. If you're into like super high nerdy JDM gear reviews, check out his channel at Punch Fishing. Otherwise, tune in, sit back, enjoy the show. We talk a bit about Minnesota, Wisconsin fishing, local fishing, and then we kind of get into some nerdy tackle talk and get into some rare baits and things in my tackle box. So, and answer a bunch of IG questions. So, enjoy it. Let me know what you think. And notification squad. What's up, everybody? Special guest tonight. This is Bauer. Who wants to chat? Do I pick randomly, or does anybody want to request to go live? We have our first victim.
Hello?
Wow, headset seems official. I don't know. This is our first time with a headset.
No,
uncomfortable.
No, I had that on because I was just on a Zoom thing with some. I've been wearing my headset so much lately for work that I just wear it and I forget I have it on because it's like affixed to my head now most of the time. You know what I mean?
We have Bauer here.
Bauer?
Say hi, Bauer.
Is like a legit puppy?
Yeah, he's like 9 weeks maybe.
What breed?
It's some kind of Western Terrier mother. I have no idea what the father is. Suspect maybe a black lab.
Oh, it's a mutt? Where'd you get it?
Some of our neighbors foster pups and dogs. So.
Hey, you decided to... Wait, so you went over there and just took one of the dogs for yourself, or are you fostering it?
My wife has been wanting to get. If you chew on the boat carpet, you're not going to make it long, buddy. She's been wanting to get another dog, and we had him, and so.
So is that your only dog at the moment, or do you got multiple dogs?
I have like a 70-pound red bone coonhound as well.
Oh yeah, he was on your boat. I've seen him in your videos. Oh yeah. So does he like the pup?
He is kind of indifferent to the pup. He's
not. How long have you had the pup?
Just like a week.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Bilski wants to know percentage. It actually happened. Catch and release petition.
Mine's sleeping next to the fishing rod.
The percentage that the catch and release petition that's going on takes effect this year, 1%?
The percentage that... Wait, say that again?
So somebody was asking about the catch and release petition that's been on bass heads and everything. Percent that it worked this year, 1%.
Zero. They already the regulations are done.
It's probably less than 1. It's probably not zero, but it's
zero.
Pretty close to zero.
No, it's literally zero because the regulations have already been done and approved, and they got all the materials printed. Once all the regulations have been basically approved by the government, they get approved months ago because they have to start printing all the regulation guides and get all the website and the marketing and the media stuff all done. So
it's a number very close to zero. Very, very close to zero. Like, nothing's impossible, but that's darn near impossible.
The fact that there's already regulation guides out in the world, and the regulations have already been, like, published and produced, it's not changing. So, but the best option...
But you can sign the petition, and then that is evidence for future sessions of lawmaking in future years.
That's depending on people actually caring about a change.org petition, though. They're mostly pointless in the world of...
It's just another data point. It doesn't hurt. But the chance of it happening... I mean, I think we're probably 2-3 years out, at least.
Minnesota has a the distinction of always being late to the party on almost everything. We're one of the last states to... I mean... How long did it take us to change Sunday liquor laws, right? We're always the last to the party, right? And it's no accident that Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota, every state around us has changed and we haven't changed yet. That's like par for the course for Minnesota politics.
So I'd say now that Wisconsin's done it, a couple more years, maybe.
If I was going to predict, I would say the over-under. I would set the over-under at 3 years. And I would take the over.
Yeah.
I'd take 3 years or more. The thing is, the only thing that's going to change it is, like, we need Minnesota legislatures. Like, we need elected officials to push it. Like, change.org petitions are interesting and fun, and they go viral once in a while. But they make no difference to legislation and to, like, people who make policy. They don't care. They don't read them. They don't, because a lot of them don't believe in that kind of stuff, that it's real. There's a lot of, like, change.org petitions can be gamed. You can generate signatures on those things. It's easy to fake it. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to move the needle at all. No. But I'm a pessimist.
It's another sliver.
Right. It's a fart in the wind. It's peeing in the ocean. All those analogies. However, the fact that Wisconsin did it, we're going to get FOMO, which usually drives things, right?
Well, the fact that this year, with everything being goofy, there's not as many people flocking to Wisconsin that would be spending those early season dollars. So there won't be any evidence from this year that a normal year would have brought to, like, everybody drive over there and
right.
So,
well, I went over there
last session release 2 weeks early, like 3 years ago. I feel like that's got to sit there and rot for a while before they're going to do anything more.
Right, we're slow to change. The thing is, like, our DNR is, like, they don't respond to anything. Like, you don't hear anything out of DNR. You don't hear anything out of officials. You don't hear anything from press releases. I've emailed the DNR dozen or so times in the last 7-8 years, and I've gotten a grand total of 0 responses back, ever. Like, I don't know if does the DNR have PR people? Like, do they have any marketing PR department? I don't think they do. I think they're A, woefully understaffed, 2, woefully underbudgeted, and 3, they got other shit to worry about than us wanting to go catch bass a few weeks earlier. I just don't think it's even, like, registered on their meter. You know what I mean?
So Flippin' Fish wants to know how the pre-spawn on Marion is, and I don't know. I haven't been out there, and I really don't like going to Marion. It's like one of my least favorite lakes. I used to go there when the Panda Prog tournament was there because I would do fairly well and cash checks, and it was 5 minutes from my house, but Marion's really not my jam. There's some big ones out there. It used to be a lot better. You used to be able to go and catch a ton of fish, and now you have to work really hard to catch a few fish, and some of them are good ones. So,
see, all those lakes down the south. I don't know. I'm a North Metro guy. I know all the lakes up in the north.
I grew up in Columbia Heights, though, so I used to fish Coon and Ham and Linwood and North South Center and Forest and Green and all this stuff back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's all the lakes I go fish. Linwood is a swamp. I mean, Linwood's got the dirtiest water I've ever seen out of any of the North Metro lakes.
Like, really old big fish in it. I don't know if it still does, but it used to be a place where you might only go out and get a couple bites, but you had a legitimate chance at a 5, 6, maybe 7 pounder in the fall or in the spring.
Linwood's got tanks, but you got to know that lake gets like chocolate milk all year. I don't know why. It's something to do with the runoff and whatever land is around there, but it's a dirty, dirty lake. So if you're a good dirty water fisherman, Linwood's like your jam. If you don't like clear water, you want that dirty chocolate milk.
Get the pads all day and hope to get 3 bites. That's your jam.
Right. Yeah, Linwood's one I hit. I go to Coon, obviously that's close by. I go to Chisago, Green, Forest Lake when I'm forced to. I don't go there for fun. Too much traffic. Yeah, there's a few good ones. One that people don't talk about that's actually pretty fun is Lake George up in St. Francis. It's just a big bowl, tons of pike, but the bass fishing actually is kind of fun on that lake if you can,
Spectacle.
Spectacle?
It's up by George somewhere. It's tiny.
I've never heard of that. Like glasses like a spectacle?
Yeah, like deep, clear, deep weed lines. It used to. I mean, that's been forever since I've been up there. But
in Wynette Township?
I don't know. It's up in
weird. It looks like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the lake next to Green. Oh yeah, everyone drives past it to go to Green. Okay, I didn't know it was called Spectacle. I'm sorry.
And maybe it sucks. It used to be pretty decent.
Well, it's that lake next. I've seen it because I've driven past it to go to Green. But yeah, interesting. That's where. Yeah, I've never been.
Wants to know, where would you start on whitefish for pre-spawn? I've literally never fished whitefish earlier than like July or August, and I usually fished it in September for state tournaments. But I guess pre-spawn, there's like some kind of shallow bays on the west end of lower or upper. And I would think those bays would be really good, and outside of those bays, there would be a ton of fish staging. Outside of Arrowhead or just inside of Arrowhead, I would think be really good early in the year. And then I think those east lakes, like east of Cross, I bet you, and then the south end of Cross, I bet you is really good early in the year. Yeah, my mom got it for Christmas for me, Jacob. Thanks for noticing my sweatshirt.
I like that they reissued the Bass Utopia swag. It was gone for many, many years, and now all of a sudden it's back. I like it. I want a sticker. Jacob, give me a sticker, man.
I like to show this off.
Oh, that's the old school. That's the hockey style.
I got some old stuff.
Yeah. That's that's like the I like. Whatever happened to the whole like hockey jersey hoodie thing? That like died off. Like
I don't know. Look at Bauer's collar. Really matches the Bass Utopia blue if you look close.
Oh, there you go. I'm rocking my Air Jordan Phenom hoodie.
You just want to like. It'd be nice if you would nap.
You know what I like on this? You know what sucks on this Instagram Live? You have to put your finger on it to see all the comments. Like, go up. Why can't you just? I wish it would just stay like that. Yeah, just go up the whole damn screen. It'd be way easier.
We did get a new pup. That's Bauer. My wife got it, and I'm the one stuck taking care of it while she's sleeping right now.
Bauer. I like the name. Is there any significance to it?
The winner was named like Chippy, Bauer, Biscuit.
B names?
Hockey references, and then we just kept it. How much for the old Mountain Dew sign? I think I was going to keep it. It's pretty dope. I don't think it was wrong.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Is that tin? Is that a metal one?
It's actually a metal sign.
Yeah, those old tin signs are like pretty cool.
And I don't know, somebody found this in a yard sale, one of my aunts or uncles, or found it, and I'm just keeping it. But
so wait, now Instagram reverses the video, so I can't. What's the tagline at the bottom say?
It says it'll tickle your innards.
That's almost sexual.
Yeah.
It'll tickle your. Was that actually
kind of like
now? Is that like a bit
in my boat and get it stuck in its mouth, and then I'm gonna get in trouble with the wife?
Is that an actual vintage sign, or is that like a?
I think it is. I think it's legit old. It's not. I mean, I've had it. I've had it for at least 15 years. So
okay.
So I think it's legit old.
There's old. I'm good. I'm looking on Google right now. That's like an old campaign, and their spokesperson was like an old hillbilly.
Yeah, he's on there. Yeah.
And he's drinking out of like a jug.
Like a moonshine jug.
Yeah. Wow. Mountain Dew had an interesting marketing past.
Retro.
Oh my gosh. He even drinks out of the bottle. He goes, Yahoo!
Yahoo Mountain Dew.
Tickle your innards. Oh, dude, this old commercial. Oh my God. This is great.
What derbies are we doing this summer? Well, assuming we have derbies. The Bass Nation TOC on whitefish in like August. I want to do the Leech TBF TOC, which is TBF TOC on Leech in late July. The Northern Division in middle of August. And other than that, I don't know. Just jump in some random stuff.
Do you have to earn in?
Maybe the Jude now that it's in September.
To get into those TOCs, do you have to qualify into those, or do you just sign up?
You have to qualify through your club.
Oh, so you're just assuming you're going to qualify in your club and go to them?
Sometimes certain clubs qualify years ahead and have qualification methods that have already happened.
Got it. So you already know you're going to fish them.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know a lot of the.
I mean, like, there's no standard on how you have to qualify. So
I know I've heard some rants on that in the past, how they're pretty loosey goosey with who can represent your club at those things.
Yep.
It's not always the most deserving anglers. it's the who's available anglers.
Any Wednesday nighters? Well, my work schedule doesn't really fit with me fishing Wednesday nighters on Tonka, nor do my kids' sports schedules. So,
dude, I don't know how those guys get all that time off work when they go fish all those and practice and whatnot. That's a commitment. I got a lot of respect for those guys that fish the Denny's, because that's a life changing kind of, like, you got to adjust your whole schedule and life around it, right?
Yeah. There are guys that fish multiple circuits, but you kind of have two breeds of tournament anglers. You have the Tonka tournament anglers, and then you have the other tournament anglers. As a general rule, I mean, there's definitely overlap. But...
Yeah. No, I hear you. No, I only fished one tournament on Tonka in my life, and after it was over, I'm like, I had a newfound respect for the Denny's guys of what they have to, like, go through on that lake. It's like the least relaxing place to fish on earth. It's like changing a tire on 35W in rush hour, fishing on that lake.
He wants to fight me. You want to eat power worms that are stuck by my, like, hot foot. He wants to chew on stuff, even though I brought him chew toys.
Denny's Wednesday nighters. Are the Denny's Wednesday nighters on Tonka, or are they somewhere else?
They're on Tonka. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, they go out of, like...
Oh, so that's different than their Monday night Super 30s?
So they have a Wednesday night league, and then they also have their, like, Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday. Tonka is definitely one of the best lakes in Minnesota, for sure.
What qualifies it as being the best lake besides just... I mean, I know it's an amazing fishery. There's so much there's a little bit of everything on that lake, but the only thing that puts me off on Tonka is the stress level, right? Like, it's...
If you think about the fishing pressure and the other pressure that lake gets, and the result that it continually puts out, that's why most people, one of the best. I mean, the best, or at least, I mean, it's definitely in the conversation as the best lake.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I like seeing every once in a while, like, topics come up about, like, when is a tournament series going to come back to Tonka, because they used to, in the older days, and like when's but you'd have to really reduce the boating field, right? Like, you can't have 170 guys out on Tonka on a weekend.
There's really not good facilities, and the Lake Minnetonka conservation just makes it really hard. And then, like, all the permits, it's just nobody wants them there.
Yeah. But I mean, if they had like a 25 angler field of, like, or 50, I think that's doable, right? Like, but not like a full, event.
Yeah, I mean, even when Bassmaster came there, it was like the top 100, top 150.
Right.
But,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, the new, I mean, in theory, like an elite series with like 70, 80 boats, not bad.
Yeah, if you did during the week.
But they want money, and that there's no Chamber of Commerce wants them there, so nobody's kicking in money to bring them there.
They don't need it. They're doing fine economically. They don't need a bass tournament to come and put
all the hoops that you have to jump through in Minnesota makes it unattractive. So
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, no, Tonka's I don't, I'll go there if I'm forced to, but I don't go there for fun. Now when I have, up in the North Metro, it's like you too, you got lakes within, you got plenty of options within an hour, 15 minutes, 15 minutes to an hour. Tonka wouldn't be like my go-to. If I lived by Tonka, I'd go there all the time because, but
yeah, I mean, I don't mind Tonka, but unless I'm fishing a circuit that brings me there, I'm not that interested.
Exactly. Right. Are you going out this weekend?
I ended up, for sure. We'll see.
I'm 100% going out this weekend. You can't.
I'm thinking pool 2, maybe. So.
Pool 2?
Seems like the water's coming down pretty quick on pool 2. So.
Is that your favorite?
No, it's just one of the few legal places that's close to my house to really like target bass legitimately.
How long is of a drive is it door to door?
Pool 2? Well, so Pool 2 is Cottage Grove.
Right.
So,
but you're in Lakeville?
30 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, that's not bad.
I didn't have to like go up and around or down and around. Like it's not that far as crow flies, but
yeah, that's an easy. Yeah. I'd probably go there too if I was you. That's not a bad drive. No, I'm up in. I'm like, to get over to Wisconsin is about a 45-minute drive, and then depending on what lake I want to go to, I can usually get to some pretty good lakes in about 45 to 50 minutes.
Even the close lakes that aren't that good are over an hour from me. So
Yeah. I'm kind of fortunate because I got a couple ways I can hop over the river into Wisconsin. I got mostly like go through Stillwater or up by St. Croix or up by Osceola, so I can get over into there pretty quick. What's funny is I went out to Wisconsin. I hit Cedar on Saturday. Ran into a couple bass heads out there, some people I recognize. But I get to the ramp at like, I don't know, 7:30, right? Only boat there. Nobody there. I was by myself. I was like, what? I thought I was going to get out there and there was going to be at least a couple, guys itching at getting out and, and catching some legal fish. But I had the whole place to myself for a good 2 hours before people started showing up. Then by noon, the ramp was full. I'm talking like packed.
probably because it was like 40 degrees in the morning.
Right. Well, it was a little chilly in the morning, but it got warm pretty quick by about 10, 11 o'clock. And then this is what's funny, though. I noticed that there was a lot of not social distancing going on with the boat crowd at that lake. There was pontoons with like dad, wife, kids, grandpa, grandma. And then there was like a lot of guys fishing with their buddies. a lot of the lake people lived on the lake were having fires and, all congregating and stuff. I was like, you went out on that lake, you wouldn't even know that there was like a social distancing shut-in order going on. Everyone was.
I guess if families are not a big deal if they all live in the same house, but
yeah, but you don't know. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I was kind of head down.
Go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, puppies always have to go to the bathroom. They have to go to the bathroom like every 6 seconds.
So pool 2 used to be pretty juicy. It was okay the last time I went there, but it was different now that they've opened that current situation.
So Punk Rock Fishman says he's hitting northeast Wisconsin, so you're going to make a drive.
So he's going like Door County, but he's from that area, like out outside. It's really dark.
So flip and pitch England. Yes, I do fish walleye when I want to, and I want to. I'm not opposed to going walleye fishing once in a while, especially if I'm on a lake that's got easy walleye fishing like Vermilion or Mille Lacs. I'm not anti walleye fishing. I'll definitely. I don't go with live bait. I haven't bought a minnow in years. I'll still fish paddle tail, swim baits, and head rigs and whatever else. But yeah, I'm not opposed to targeting walleye once in a while.
Got a Tinkles, so that's the status update. We'll see if he poops.
Oh, so he's got a cabin up there. So it's cool. I don't know. I was actually tempted to maybe make a run all the way into Hayward this weekend if I got a little extra time, make that little extra drive, and maybe go hit like Round Lake or Laputa out or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I had that flexibility, I probably would, but tensions are high in the Lindgren household.
Yeah. Wait, did you actually cut your hat in half to make a visor?
Oh, he's pooping now. This is exciting. Yeah.
I was like, I'm noticing you customized the Omnia hat for a visor.
I'm trying to get him to warranty it because the top's missing. But
that's awesome, dude. I can't pull off a visor, man. That's like, if I could pull off a visor, I definitely would.
You could get a wig to wear with your visor.
That sounds hot. You get really sweaty.
All right, so we pooped.
Pete says your warranty claim is denied on the Omnia hat.
That's rude, Pete. Now my dog is dashing upstairs. This is not good.
Gonna wake everybody up. Better intercept.
All right. Keep him entertained for a minute.
Yeah, sure. You guys got any questions while he's chasing his puppy up the stairs and making sure it doesn't wake up his wife and children? My dog is crashed out next to an NRX drop shot rod. I'm going to give this so this the 822 DS. Any of you guys out there rock the 822 drop shot rod? I'm going to give it a whirl this year. bass fishing any good in the Hayward area? Are you kidding? There's like 2 or 3 like amazing smallmouth lakes right around there. Check out Round. Round is like a pretty sick smallmouth lake. Basically, you can throw a dog at any of the lakes in Hayward. They all pretty much have bass fishing and world-class muskie fishing and world-class walleye fishing. Like all those lakes around Hayward are just jacked. You get a little pressure, especially for muskie fishing. But you ever go muskie fishing?
I've caught muskies on Vermilion. Like
that's cool. What's your
bass
biggest?
fishing? I see them. I didn't measure it. I don't know, 40 some inches probably.
Nice.
I got time for that.
They're going big on. I'm venturing to muskie fishing like legitimately this year. I put together a combo. I started to collect some baits. I'm going to take a go at it. I'm not good at it, but I want to get better. I just it's kind of one of those YouTube things. Like I went down this rabbit hole watching all these muskie channels over the last couple of years, and I'm getting like motivated to take a crack, like actually not sucking at muskie fishing.
Go to Bone, go to Deer, go to Vermilion.
Well, like I'm gonna have a camper set up in on Trigo Lake in Wisconsin this year, and I'm gonna be hop, skip, and a jump from a bunch of muskie lakes. So I'm gonna keep some muskie gear at my camper in Wisconsin and just leave it there all year. Not gonna bring it back home. So it's just gonna be there.
Largemouth reside in Vermilion. Fortune Bay, where the casino is, has largemouth.
Right.
And then most everything else largemouth is west of the Narrows.
Right.
The further and closer you go to Cook, the more largemouth you will run into. But they are typically in the shallower, weedier bays.
Right. Look for the grass.
The further away you get from Tower, the more largemouth you will find.
Right. Is this a good general rule? Like the more north and west you get on Vermilion, the more largemouth you're going to find.
Portion is like one outlier out of that rule.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, Tower. If you're going to the south, southeast, southwest, you're pretty much in smallmouth.
It looks like largemouth water.
No, they're not there though.
But you'll find them, and you'll probably catch smallmouth in reeds and pads and things like that before you'll catch a largemouth.
So I've been fishing Vermilion more the last couple of years because of that campground they put in. If you like, they put in this really amazing campground, this state park. It's called Vermilion Ridge. Have you heard about this?
No.
So, state of Minnesota, they built this gorgeous. What's that?
Pete had a question. I said we'll get to it.
Oh, so anyway, long story short, if you want to go to Vermilion and you want to do it on the cheap, go to book a campground at Vermilion Ridge. It's in the southeast corner of Lake Vermilion. Campsites are like $30 a night, and they have a gorgeous giant boat ramp that nobody uses for the campsites. You can't leave your boat down there, so you got to park it up at your campground. But if you want to go there on a cheap, you have a really great fishing weekend. Book at Vermilion Ridge State Park Campground. They have sick Wi-Fi. They put giant Wi-Fi towers all around the campground.
You can stream Instagram Live from the campground every night.
No, you can work. You can do work while you're up there. So I've gotten up there and tacked on a couple extra days of trips, and you just work off the Wi-Fi, you know. So, you know, if you need internet access for your job, you can kind of sneak up there and do some, you know, fishing and work. Yeah, shout out to Vermilion Ridge. Good campground. It's brand new. They just built it like 3 years ago. It's gorgeous. You can take the family.
This was a terrible decision bringing him out here.
He's
trying to escape. Oh. Why don't you just?
I want a rundown on your jigs. What kind of rundown do you want on all his jigs? They're jigs. What's the difference? I mean, how many different models jigs do you guys have? Like jigs.
4.
So you got, I'm guessing, we got the Arky head ones you sent me.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's Arky head, the football head, and then there is the net head, and then the kind of all-purpose shaky head.
Okay, but skirted jigs, you got the Arky and the football.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. They got an Arky head. They got an Arky head or football head, which is really all you need, unless you really want to go.
This dog has not been in the boat, Kenny.
Dog looks smaller on live. Everything looks smaller on live.
He's quieter too than the one that's on the video.
I will say, you sent me tungsten shaky head jigs, and I've never had tungsten shaky head jigs. And I put them next to my owner jigs, and it's dramatic. How small.
Those are actually not as small. Those ones are actually tungsten resonant, so they're not quite as dense as like the football jig. So they're not even as small as they could be because they're
but next to an owner lead shaky head, it's pretty significantly lighter.
Yeah.
Do they? I mean, what's the advantage? Honestly, though, what's an advantage of running a tungsten shaky head versus a lead? I mean,
bottom transmissibility is increased.
They say that. Yeah, I know to some degree. I think it depends on what surface you're on. If you're on mud or a soft surface,
a sand bottom weed line, you're not gonna feel anything, but you'll be able to feel gravel and things like that better.
Right. No, I hear you. I throw shaky heads almost all year. It's like one of my favorite. What's funny is
I think as a shaky head, the tungsten is a bigger deal than using it as a jig worm. And then obviously, when I use it as a swimbait head, it has no purpose, honestly.
No, you go lead on your swimbait heads. Who cares?
It's a great utility jig for me. I use it for everything.
Yeah, I can see
shape, just to give a little bit different action.
Right. I'm gonna show them. I already stuck it in my tackle box. Your shaky heads.
Are you taking because it's cold or because you're mad and you want to get out of here?
So I was looking at your Ned weed guard heads. Man, these weed guards are stiff, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if you break them apart and bend them, they start to lighten up. But
how much can you bend them before they break?
I haven't.
I guess I'll find out the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason it went is Bob, Wisconsin Bob's here.
Do you spread them out like in a V to kind of weaken them and get them a little open
up
a little bit?
Just because I feel like they also deflect better when you're actually in gnarliness.
Right. I can see it being useful. I'll try it.
But if you don't want them, you can always snip them off and fish them without.
Oh yeah. You just bend them 3 times
if they're not there to begin with.
Right. Yep, I'll give it a whirl. I've actually not messed around with weedless Ned heads all that often. And that's mostly because I'm usually not throwing a Ned where they're going to get hung up all that often. I mean, on rocks, I guess, but they're easy to get loose once they get hung up on rocks for the most part. I don't lose that many Ned heads.
It was really good on Monticello, but there's a lot of wood and a lot of rocks this winter.
Monticello.
The person on my back lost a lot of perfect heads, and I didn't lose a single head until the very end of the day.
On the river?
Mm-hmm.
So, I used to go to Monticello packed with tackle. Like, I'd have, like, some football jigs, and I go with, like, 7-8 things. Now, when I go to Monticello, I bring one presentation and one only, and that's all I fish. And it always works.
There's no fun in that.
Yeah, but it's easier to pack in your truck and just leave it in there and not carry shit back and forth. I literally go to Monticello now with a weedless... Oh, not weedless. Just like a straight, I don't know, Nico head, just a wacky head. I'm sorry, a wacky hook, like a Nico hook or owner cover shot, and then Kitex, and then just nose hook the Kitex, chuck it upstream, dead stick it as it floats down. If you don't get a bite, throw it upstream, just dead sticking Kitex. That's all I do now. And it works. Good fit.
Josh Douglas thanks you, Jacob, for your service that day.
What's that?
So I have this bag. This is my Monticello bag. So if I'm going to go up there, I just have this bag. And when it's not time, it sits up on the shelf. It's got some tubes. It's got some baby beavers. It's got some small swim baits. Some Ned stuff. That's about it.
Yeah.
A couple small baits in there. Some square.
You don't need to pack a lot. The other technique I'm going to play with next year that I kind of always had a feeling it would work until I talked with a guy and watched him do it, and he did it, and I was like, oh, yeah. Something I was always thinking about was essentially doing what the live bait guys do with a barrel swivel, this like having the loose line go through a barrel and then a shiner on the end, but just replace it with a megabass Hazeldomp shad, like a really small, light. I mean, you could use a 2.9 Kitech as well or whatever, but that technique works really well too. Guys are
like a free rig.
Yeah, exactly. But you just let the current pull the bait out and kick, and you just sit and wait and just put your finger. You open your bail up on your line, and just put your finger on it, just hold it and wait. And if a fish grabs it, you kind of let him take a little line out, and then.
I'm gonna put this guy to bed. He's driving me nuts. Say
Yep.
Good night, Bauer.
Go to bed, pup. So you guys that are watching, do you guys fish Monticello River at all? Go elbow to elbow with all the live bait guys on a weekend in Monticello. Jacob, do not talk about how many Ned heads I lost that day. On the river? I don't know. I like throwing Ned heads on the river from a boat and throwing it upshore and bringing it out. But, throwing Neds as on the bank, throwing on a bank fisherman, I kind of got bored with that. It's kind of a slow, boring way to fish sometimes. But it works. Got to use a heavy head to get down in the current. That helps. Who do we got? Bob Downey. We got Robert Downey? Nice. Iron Man's in here. What's up, Bailey? How's it going? So, Bailey, do you host that podcast? Is that your podcast, the one that everyone's on, that Serious Angler? Is that your deal? I suppose I should actually do my research before I ask questions. But what's the fun in that? Nice. Good time to start a podcast, man. Everyone's starving for content right now. Everyone's bored.
Drove me to drink. What's up, Bailey?
What do you got? Is that a High Life? Mick Light. I'm drinking what's left of this giant wheat ale. So, talking waters. You ever heard of a town called Montevideo?
Yeah, it's out west. Isn't there a small casino out there, a bingo hall or something?
Yeah, there's a casino near there. It's not at Montevideo, but Montevideo is like, you just go on Highway 70, you go past Hutchinson, you eventually hit it. Anyway, that's where all my in-laws are from. So my wife's from Montevideo. So every time I go visit my in-laws, I go to Monty. And they have one cool thing in Montevideo. It's this brewery called Talking Waters. It's in downtown Montevideo. It's like a really cool little tap room. And their beer, you can only get it at 4 shops in the Twin Cities. So I have to drive around to find their beer in the metro. It's not like everywhere.
Pete, are you still here? Wave if you're here, Pete.
I think his name was on the list in the live. He's probably not paying attention though.
Probably fell asleep.
So I want to tell you about my fishing on Saturday. So I get out on this lake, and I've never been there before, and it's a sand lake with crappie cribs. So I got a question for you. How do you fish? Do you fish, or have you fished, or how do you fish crappie cribs?
Can't say that I've done it much. I've seen them a little bit.
They're everywhere in Wisconsin.
Yeah. And I haven't spent a lot of time fishing lakes in Wisconsin since sonar has gotten good, to be honest. We used to fish there a lot when I fished in gopher bass masters all the time.
Right.
It was back when I was running around with bottom line flashers and maybe at the very end of that, maybe I had a Lowrance LMS 532 or something or whatever. So.
Right. Well, it's
Pete asked for this.
What's that?
He said he wanted a rundown of the jigs.
Oh, are you gonna supply Omnia? Here's your chance. Pitch them. Tell them why they're great.
So, 3/8 ounce flipping jig, half 3/8 and 3/4.
I got mine right here.
Yep, the half and 3/4. So, let's get one that's out of the package here. So,
Pete, Omnia needs to carry these. Omnia needs to carry these, and you need to one. Oh, go ahead.
But it's an Arky style. This one's seen a few pontoons and dock posts. So it's got a good coating on it, but it's not invincible by any means. Fairly partially recessed line tie. It's not sticking out too bad. So our 3/8 has a pretty good 4/0 mustad.
Ooh, that's a good view right there. Look at it.
And then the 1/2 ounce has a 5/0, so a little bit meatier. and then the 3/4 has the same hook. So color matching weed guards, fairly stiff. So the green with green heads, brown with brown heads, black with black heads. Comes with double barrel rattles on it, so it's got a rubber barrel skirt. But then underneath that, they're hand-tied skirts under the rattle bands.
Really?
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. Do you assemble these? Do you get the heads and the skirts, and are you putting them together on your own, or do they come like that?
Some of both.
Oh yeah. I've had some nights where I've
moving towards me doing less of it all the time.
That's good. I spent many nights putting on skirts onto football head jigs by the dozens, and that gets old real fast.
Nice. So it's a good all around arky jig, and then you have the size advantage of the tungsten. And on a jig, I think the tungsten really shines from a transmissibility standpoint. You really feel things a lot better with a jig.
So I'll be honest, I've purchased a lot of like tungsten arky jigs from like random jig guys on Facebook. You know, like I run a jig company out of my basement, and I have tungsten jigs, and I'll give you a 10 for whatever bucks. The one thing that's different about yours that I have a bunch, and your arky head is pretty similar. The difference with yours is I like your rattle placement in the system for your rattles. I like that. I like it because if I don't want them or they fall out, I can just like tear them off. And like no big deal.
Yep.
Like I can just pull one off or cut one off and done. If I don't want the rattle on there, I kind of like that.
So yeah, we keep it pretty simple. I think we only have like 8 or 9 colors. Like I think like the amount of colors that like a company like Dirty Jigs has is insane.
Dude,
they have more colors of black and blue than we have at all. Like,
well, and if you look at the data from those those report, if you look at the data that's coming out about what bass's vision spectrums are, black and blue don't matter. They see the same color, so all you really need is black or blue or black and blue. It's the same damn thing to a bass. Like they don't know the difference.
And then here's one. This one's been trimmed up. This is like a little PB&J half-ounce football jig that I've given the finesse treatment to. I was fishing this in cold water. Had a real subtle craw on it.
Oh,
that's football jigs. You really see the difference, like the size of that head. Did I miss something?
No, they're just talking about your football head.
Right. But so those are the two mainstays. Like those are the ones we've had the longest. Same thing, hand tied. Lighter wire hook on the football jig. Still a must-add. The reason we went with a must-add is because tungsten jigs are pretty expensive already. So if you start slapping trocars and owners and Gamakatsus in there, then you start having like $10, $11, $12 jigs. By the time everybody gets their margin cut. And the other thing is it's really nice. A must-add is a good hook, and it sharpens easy. Like, and so the last thing you want is like a trocar that's impossible to sharpen.
Well, it's because they're cutting point.
Once you roll a point on it, it's like a $9 weight that has no hook on it that's useful anymore.
Well, okay. So, like, the difference with the hook points, right? Like, this is a needle point, right? Yep. Needle point. So when you go to a trocar hook, you're getting a cutting point, which has edges, right? So needle point versus cutting point hooks. I mean, there's debate there, but a lot of people feel that cutting point hooks are great for penetration, but because of the sharp edges on a cutting point hook, as the hook moves around the fish's mouth, that hole gets bigger. You know, you can blow that hole open faster, which is why a lot of guys prefer the needle point.
And then
you want to get nerdy on hooks.
Yeah, for sure. So then the other jig that we have, which is kind of this, it's really a shaky head at its core. It's a kind of a football shaped shaky head.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's kind of it stood out to me as more of a football head than a shaky head.
Right, but it's a football shaky head. How about that? Like
there you go. There you go.
So this is a 3/16 ounce. It comes in 16 eighths, 3/16 and quarter. But like this is that's the lead 3/16.
Right. So one thing I noticed about your head is the eye position is not as up high and back as other shaky heads. Like, you know what I mean? So I think putting a floating plastic on that thing is going to benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I use these sometimes as a shaky head, but I love these. I use these. These are a great jig worm hook. I like them because they have a pretty big hook.
Yeah, so let's see. I got my shaky head.
With, like, I know a lot of people love the money jig, right?
Yep.
A good jig catches a zillion fish. I just like a little bigger hook, especially when I'm fishing like full size, like Senkos and bigger worms and stuff like that.
Right. So here's the owner in the same size. This is a 1/8 owner and the 1/8 tungsten you sent me. So if you look at the owner's like a half moon, but then a flat bottom. And then yours is literally like a little squished football. Mm-hmm. And then the owner's got the twist lock. Your hook's a lot smaller too.
Yeah, that's a pretty big hook on that shaky head. I mean,
yeah, the owner's got big hooks. That's kind of my go-to shaky head. But a shaky head that I really like, if you don't have a floating plastic, if you're going to throw something that sinks like a trick worm, is the Mega Strike. Do you ever use these guys?
No, I had some.
So these guys have a ramp. So if you don't have see on the back of it. So these shaky heads are really good for trick worm guys and guys that do use floating worms, and you want to get that stand-up action, but you don't have a worm that's going to lift up. That's where these guys come in handy. These things get through cover actually pretty well.
I also use mine as a stupid tube hook. That football head creates a nice shape where it widens the tube head a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that helps roll through rocks and cover a little bit. So wider head.
So you're saying your shaky head you use like 3 other things before you use it as a shaky head.
I use it for jig worm. I use it for a shaky head. I use it for Kitex. I use it for stupid tubes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I'm gonna try it. Do you make these in quarter?
Yeah, it's a little bigger though. This one actually has this one probably has a hook closer to that owner. It's a little the next size up.
Right. I want a quarter. I want some
like
quarters to try with like spark shads or like swimbaits.
Yeah, like a 3.8, and you want to like get deep. This is a nice setup for that.
You have to. I might have to send you some more money and you send me a bunch of quarters.
Sure. And then our newest baby is the Ned head. We were just talking about the weedless Ned head.
I can't say I've been impressed with any weedless Ned heads or wacky hooks in my day, but I'll try them.
And you know what? We made a conscious decision that the Ned market is fully saturated, and there's a ton of good options. Where there maybe is a slight gap is in the weedless versions.
Right.
You can always cut these off. So
I have a question. When's someone going to come out with a weedless Ned head that has either like stiff rubber guards or like mono, or you know what I mean? Something that's totally flexible,
like the weedless or the VMC Nico, but on a jig.
Exactly.
Well, they do. Yeah, like this is the. I guess this is the Hayabusa Brush Easy.
So Bailey, you say Z-Man worms are legit. Floating keeps up. Yeah, Z-Man obviously with the elastic, they're gonna float no matter what head. It doesn't matter what head you put on a. If you're using a Ned rig or you're using Z-Man worms for your shaky head, doesn't matter what the hell head you use, it's gonna float.
This is what you're asking about.
Wait, is that mono?
I think it's fluoro. I'm not sure.
Yes, that's what I want.
It's a Hayabusa Brush Easy.
Hayabusa. I don't really look at Hayabusa.
It's a decently strong hook, but I mean, like we put 2 on like big hooks.
Right. Oh, that's kind of cool.
And then against like.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Hayabusa's in your left hand. Oh, that thing is small. You're right. That's tiny.
I'm trying to think. Like here's
Interesting.
I had a perfect net in here somewhere.
I got a ton of those.
It doesn't do any because you can't hold yours up next to mine. There it is. Here's the perfect net. So that just shows you how small that brush is. Maybe they have different size hooks since I bought them, but.
So the perfect nets came out with a size 2 hook, but then they later came out with a 1/0. So they have a size 2 and a 1/0.
I'm pretty sure the one I was holding up is the 1/0. I wouldn't have bought that smaller one.
Oh, you mean the 2/0?
2/0 in our nets. And I guess like one thing, like our packaging was really designed for online retail.
Right.
Like, this is not something that's gonna like wow you when you're walking down a big box store.
Dude, every single jig I've bought from a guy on the internet comes in these bags. Nobody does that.
Flash intent, because this saves me a ton on shipping.
Right.
Which
because you ship it flat.
Saves you money when you buy them. And then you can actually store like these, they go in your box. They're good. Like, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Dude, you're preaching to the choir. I baggie everything in my tackle box. I keep everything in there. Yeah, I throw them away.
These are a pain in the ass. And then it's like, I just got all these floating jigs, and after a while, I don't know what they are or what size they are.
Right. No, I hear you. No, this is the superior packaging. I agree. The way it should be.
And then, like, if you own a tackle store, just think how much you could inventory in the same slot on a shelf for picking instead of those big clamshells. And then when you ship them out as a dealer, if you ship flat rate, how much money you'd save on that?
You don't got to sell me on it, man. You got to sell Pete over at Omnia.
I thought that's what I was doing.
Is he listening? Pete, put in your purchase order right now. Come on.
But that kind of goes back to my packaging. That's what I do for work for a living, is optimize packaging and supply chains. So,
for what industry?
All industries.
Well, okay. Like, what are your biggest clients doing?
Like right now, I have done some things for Weber Grills.
Oh, cool.
I've done stuff for Club Car. I've done stuff for Train, for Reen, medical companies, General Mills.
So you and I have some customer overlap. I got assigned to a new patch customers at my job, and 2 of my customers are Schwann's and General Mills.
I guess right now the Schwann split, not talking fishing, but they actually split their home service, the yellow trucks off, because Schwann's used to own they were all the same company, like Red Baron, Tony's Pizza, that's all Schwann's, right? They have the grocery side, the food service, the pizza that your kids eat at school, those square pizzas, that's Schwann's.
Oh.
The home service is the yellow trucks. I guess the yellow trucks are just freaking killing it right now.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. If anyone's going to have a good quarter, it's Schwann's yellow truck service. They're going to be crushing it. Everyone's going to want their frozen pizzas and the ice cream push-ups. That's what I always got when I was a kid with Schwann's. The ice cream.
What's up, Gaff?
Great Lakes Gas.
I don't know. You're not pulling the numbers that Cade was pulling on Monday night.
Dude, I have a private Instagram. I don't have a public one. I purposely don't blast it. I don't want people following me on Instagram, to be perfectly honest.
You don't want us seeing skateboarding and things like that?
Well, no, my Instagram, I keep my Instagram for like personal, like, pictures of me and the kids and family and camping. And, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be one of those guys that Instagram feed. No offense to the guys that do that, where it's just like 700 pictures of you holding up 5-pounders at some random lake all the time.
I can hear you talking about me right now.
That shit's boring. Everybody does that. I don't know. My Instagram is just kind of like my
if it was all pictures of tackle, would you be more interested if it was like
100%? But not many people do that. I'm all in if you're just going to post cool pictures of your tackle and shit.
Aztec is mainly pictures of jigs.
That's true. That's very true. Well, you know what I mean? No, I don't know. I'm not trying to build up an Instagram following. I don't really give a shit, to be honest. If people want to follow me, go for it. I'll add you, but I don't want all the bots and the info scraping that happens on Instagram.
Look at all tin hat on me.
Dude, I work in that industry, man. I know all the data stuff that's going on there in the world.
You can read my data.
Oh, yeah. No, companies already know that, and they do. I work in an industry where data is gravity, and data is the new oil rush right now. And all the companies are just collecting as much data as they can. Then they're going to figure out what to do with it later. So many companies have the capability of just scraping and storing infinite amounts of data, especially with like I work for cloud services. Like all these companies are just sucking and collecting and collecting and collecting. And then they're going, now what do we do with it? And that's where me and my company comes in and we help them out. But data is the new gold rush. It's where all the money's at now. All your data is being bought, sold, traded, analyzed, predictions. Everything you do.
Who else is going fishing this weekend, and what kind of questions do we have about fishing?
Yes, or if you want to talk about AIML workloads and data ingestion, let me know. But no, so fishing, I want to tell you about so on Saturday I pulled up to the lake, and it's a new lake. I haven't fished that lake in years. I haven't been out there. I'm just starting over. I know it's a crappie crib lake, and I know it's sand, and I know there's probably very little grass. If there's anything, it's dead. So, and the water was like 48 to 50 degrees. And I'm going, okay, where are the smallies, right? Got to find them. So I just start scanning around. I find crappie cribs. I mark as many as I can. I start drop shotting around the crappie cribs, and all I was catching was white bass. So there's white bass hanging around these crappie cribs. And I started marking rock. What's that? Oh, your tripod?
I'm getting a new tripod for my phone.
Ah, nice. Good move. That's what I use. Not that one. I have the bendy. Does it have the bendy legs? Yes, exactly. I like the bendy legs. Although mine, the legs fall off once in a while.
Mr. Bros is going to Tonka to find those sneaky spots. Start scanning.
So you can win another big tournament. But no, I went out there and I basically tied everything on that I use in fall smallmouth fishing. So I kept all the same stuff that I would use at the very end of the season because I'm figuring, it's cold water. I'm just going to keep with the same shit. And I kind of threw the kitchen sink. I threw like jerkbaits, Ned rigs, football jig, swing head with a finesse craw. I cranked. I threw a Megabass Deep X 100. Not getting a whole lot of bites. Then I started throwing around the Swimbait, and I got a bite, and it was off rock pile near a crappie crib. So then I started just running that. I just said, I'm going to scan around all the crappie cribs, find rocks that are in any kind of vicinity of the crappie cribs, and then I'm just going to drag as small a Swimbait as I got. I had like 3-inch spark pads. Then I started getting a lot of bites. That worked. I kind of figured out something about the back half of the day. And it was, I don't know, it's kind of fun to go to a lake and flail around for about 3 hours and not know what the hell to do, and then get one little bite, and you're like, all right, gonna run that, see what happens, and then ended up putting together a bag and having a little fun. But
way bigger than I thought it was.
What, your tripod?
Oh no, not that. There we go. No, I got a new battery pack.
Dude, those battery packs are getting smaller and smaller.
Like my chest, about a little smaller than my S8 phone.
Right. Oh, so that you're just gonna put it in your pocket and power your GoPro all day?
Well, that's gonna be for my chesty. So
right.
Thinking about like creating some kind of strap or Velcro to attach it to one of the straps on the chest.
Yeah, because you gotta have a place to put the battery that's comfortable. Right. It's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, I think most guys.
So we're gearing up to bring you some new stuff this year with new fresh. Ooh. And then I went and got a much bigger gooseneck.
Where do you mount that on the dash of your boat?
Gooseneck is about a third of that size.
Right.
So I typically suction cup that to my windshield. But I also have some of these clamps, so I could clamp it like on a boat cleat or somewhere else.
Do you mount it on your dashboard?
What's that?
Do you mount it on your dash window?
Yeah, like.
Yeah. So, what GoPro do you use?
I got 4s and 5s. We were about 20 seconds from being over. So
what? Already?
Hour on Instagram, and then it shuts you off. So we'll restart.
I didn't even know an hour went by. That was quick.
So if anybody else wants to talk, now's your chance. Otherwise, we'll bring back this guy, and he'll keep boring you with Amazon stuff. So we'll be back in.
Come on. What did you talk about? What were you talking about? No pants? I'm not wearing any pants.
Well, you're in IT. That's normal.
It's very true.
What's the bay that the Mountain Beach is in?
Oh, Cooks?
Yeah. So I would say Cooks and West Arm is where I probably spent most of my time on Tonka. And then I have a special spot in my heart for...
I like Maxwell.
Is Excelsior Bay? Is that like a little tiny lake off to the side near Maynard's thing?
Yeah. I don't remember off the top of my head. I have to look at a map. You know it better than I do.
School is never going to get you anywhere, Jacob.
Jacob, what's your major?
Brian and I went to school, and look at us. We're stuck talking on Instagram Live late at night. Is that what you want to do with the rest of your life? Think about it.
Where'd you go to school?
Myself, I went to University of Wisconsin Stout.
Nice. Cool. What was your major?
Packaging.
Really? They had a packaging major?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Oh, there you go. You ended up in your wheelhouse then.
How about you?
IT. I went to. I did. I get bored with my story, but I basically went to tech college. It took me 4 years to get a 2-year associate degree, but I was working in IT the whole time. So I was like literally just paying checks for my college because I was working full time, and then going to night school. So I went to night school on weekends, tech college, just to get a degree. So I had it on my resume. So I didn't do a 4-year.
That's what Jacob's doing. He's going to school so that he can just work at Omnia.
Hey, it's a growing business. Could be in worse places. You know?
I don't know. I don't know if he's essential right now, though, so he may not be going in.
Oh, anyone selling tackle to fishermen right now is definitely essential. What else we got to do? We all got stimulus money now. I told you, one of these tackle companies right now needs to do a stimulus sale, like something that tacks onto the whole everyone getting their stimulus checks. It just needs to let it rip. Tackle Warehouse usually did a stimulus sale, right, around tax return season.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're concerned that they're, I know, running a skeleton shift, so I think maybe they were worried about running a sale and overwhelming their associates.
No, that's a really good point. They probably don't have the bodies.
Also, Chris, I'm banking on it. I feel like hopefully what we've done here in Minnesota will pay off, and we'll be back doing things normal faster than other places, but only time will tell.
Yeah, who knows? It's hard to predict, right? We're not. You and I don't have any say. It's, you know what I mean? It's like there's bigger powers that be on these things that make these decisions.
I know. I mean, I think the early tournaments are probably going to look different than the tournaments you used to fish, as far as there's probably going to be some enhanced rules and probably not big meetings the night before, and probably like staggered check-in times, or like.
That's a good idea. Yeah, what do you think? Okay,
fish off. You don't like go up and sit there and talk on a mic. You just kind of drop them off. And I've heard there's been tournaments going on where they literally like drive through weigh-ins, drop the fish off, and then basically an email blast goes out with who won, and they send you your money later.
That's a great idea.
I heard they're doing things like that in Arizona right now.
That actually might be a lot easier to run as a tournament director. Just tell the people to get the fuck out of here after they weigh in. See ya.
Don't forget me when that happens, Jacob.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot to not have tournaments happen in June, right? The ones that are scheduled.
Yeah, I mean they just Fort Francis just canceled, and they're in late July.
Okay.
I was like, felt like it was really pessimistic and jumping the gun to cancel that already, but
it's true.
Canadians.
You don't hear much about Canada. What's going on up there during this whole thing? You think? I don't know what the hell's going on in Canada. You hear about everything else. You hear about New York, and you hear about Wisconsin, you hear about Michigan, and But when was the last time you heard about what's going on up in Canada right now?
I saw a quick story on Twitter about Ontario.
Okay. What'd they say?
I would say they're probably in like a similar shape to as a Wisconsin.
So not good.
Not terrible, but not great.
Yeah, chemical suits with patches on it. So Pete's saying all the anglers should fish in hazmat suits with their logos. That's actually pretty good, Pete. They could be, was it dye sublimated hazmat suits with everyone? They could have you could have Rapala hazmat suits. Ah, there you go. Is that a paintball mask or is that one of those run?
Just a safe face, which is basically a paintball mask.
Face. Yeah, when those safe face masks came out, I used to play paintball when I was younger and more athletic, and I'm like, they just repurposed the paintball mask. It's the same damn thing.
Well, they 100% did. They were a paintball company.
Oh, that's such a good idea, though.
I did wear my buff to Cub Foods the other day.
I haven't seen anybody out with a buff yet. I was expecting to see that sooner or later, but I haven't seen.
I saw one other guy there because I saw an SUV with Arsenal sticker in the parking lot, and then I saw a guy with a buff on his face, and I was like, I bet you that's that guy. I didn't know him.
Was it Fabiano?
No.
Did you spot him? No.
He lives on the other side of town from.
Yeah, he's in the West Metro, right? Yeah.
He's like Maple Grove.
Yep. Yeah, but he's out and about because he's got to go supply the tackle shop. So yeah, I see him running around because I don't live that too far from Capra, so every once in a while I see him running around my area.
We just mentioned that, Pete, and I just thought that was crazy that they were already they canceled that tournament in late July. It just seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that Andrew in our league, he spent so much time getting 36 permits for tournaments this year. If we got to start canceling them, he put all that work into that, getting all those permits straightened out. That was months of work on his part. He's the only one doing it.
Greenhorn, I mean, not diminishing Greenhorn, but what do you get, 20 boats?
Yeah, it's between 17 and 25 typically.
Right. That's a pretty manageable number to say, hey guys, stay the fuck away from each other. Say ahead of time. We're not going to have a meeting. We're going to do things group text. We're going to stay in your boats. I'll call you up. You weigh your fish. You don't loiter. You just do things and you get it. You figure it out and you do it smartly.
No, I agree. I think you're right. I think the club tournaments are better off.
The bigger tournaments like a Fort Francis, the Bass Nation Regional. Thankfully, that's late August. So,
right.
What are my thoughts on Red Crest? I think they're morons.
So wait, did they book this? Did they book the same weekend as it, or just around the same weekend?
To be determined, because Bass did not publish their dates yet.
Right.
So they had inside information and they went to go on top of them. Maybe they did, but Bass hasn't announced it. But just to be at the same time, I think they're foolish. I think they're going to get buried, honestly. If you have to split time and choose,
right?
I mean, what percentage of people are going to go to the Red Crest? Most people say, "What's a Red Crest?"
Well, it's a TV show. It's not an event. It's a TV show, right?
So they in their press release, they were talking about how this is going to be a big show. This is going to be.
I guess we'll see. Yeah.
An expo. It's going to be the whole thing. And I think that's and I think they're fishing at they could really do. I mean, late February in Grand Lake could be really good. It also could be miserable. I mean, when they were there, when Cliff Pace won it, it was borderline. There was some guys that were catching them, but there was a lot of guys that struggled. And even Cliff Pace didn't weigh a limit each day. He got 13 or 14 bass when he won the Classic. So if you're in an every fish counts format, that makes for a pretty dull event if people are struggling to get 5.
I think with the history of MLF and what they've shown so far is they are definitely trying to disrupt bass as much as they possibly can, right? I think they got to, so I'm not surprised that they would book something around the same time period as the Classic because that goes with their historical
attitude.
They're
probably almost as big as their pocketbooks, to be honest.
It's easy to have guts and to be ballsy when you got billionaires backing you, right? Because it's not your money on the line; it's other guys' money on the line. Right?
I think maybe it'll go well for them, but I think there's a lot more risk than the upside at this point for them. And I think for the hardcore bass fans that like tournament anglers, these moves are the exact things that alienate them from the hardcore base.
Right. I think from the start, though, they've said they're not going for that base. They're trying to build a new base. I don't know if they really care about the hardcore bass angler at the moment. I think they're trying to find that market they're trying to find a new market, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, none of these circuits release their numbers publicly, right? So you don't know. Like, you don't know as a fan who's winning or who's doing better or who's got more views. What's that?
Who's making money and who's not?
Exactly. We'll never know. All this stuff's behind closed doors, and all those numbers are private. We're never going to know the true nature of the success. Like, who's making more money, who's getting more views, who's getting more clicks, who's getting longer view times. They're never going to release that stuff. So it's like, you can have a feeling who's doing better, but nobody's ever.
It's kind of interesting because they laid out a pretty good chunk of cash for the FLW recently. Obviously.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't cheap.
Well,
and I'm sure part of that model in which they did it, they were banking on all these BFL and Toyota Series revenue, which aren't happening right now.
Yeah, big point. Yeah, yeah.
And if they don't make them all up, that's a lot of lost revenue.
Big facts. Big facts.
And then when you see the Toyota Series and the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, all those sponsorship deals literally came in the day before the tournament series started. So which means they bought those at a discount sponsorship. They weren't getting
last second deals.
It's interesting. So, we'll see.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's like you got to just wait and see. You see,
I don't want to be fans of it all, but it pisses me off when they say one thing and then they do things contradicting to try to clearly be the only show in town and try to push everybody out of the way. It's just
yeah, that's fair. I think when this whole thing went down last year, I'm going. I just want to know. I want to fast forward 4 years and see what really ends up shaking out. You know what I mean? It's one thing to predict, and then I want to actually see how all this. I think the end game for MLF is they want to buy bass. Like at the end of the day, I think the whole idea is for them to bury bass. That's what they want to do. If you think 10 years from now, if they haven't acquired bass, I think that's a failure on their part. I think that's what they want.
That's just for you, Willie.
What's that? Your champion sticker?
Bass Cat.
Oh, are they? Oh, your Bass Cat. Yeah. Which Bass Cat do you have? I don't know the difference between Bass Cat models.
It's a Pantera Classic 19-footer.
Okay, 19. See, I got a. What motor do you got?
200 Merc EFI.
Okay. Oh, that's got to push pretty good on a 19-footer. Huh?
It's decent.
What's your top speed?
When I was newer and before I put talons on it, was low 70s. Now it's upper 60s.
Wow, that is quick for a 19-foot. Jeez, that's cool. I got a 150 VMAX. It tops out about 54, 55 if I don't have stuff in it. Not super fast, but does the job. Mm-hmm. I pay cash for it. That's all that matters. It's paid for. No loans.
You will.
I ran out of beer.
I saw this cool thing on, I don't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter or something.
Jameson. Okay, Peter, are you drinking Jameson straight, or what are you mixing with your Jameson? Are you a Scotch? Are you like a club soda guy, or are you like a ginger beer guy? Are you a Coke guy? Okay, wait. Oh,
Will, if you ever lose your lure wraps in the boat, you can just take an empty beer can on the rod and just wrap that around there to protect it and keep it from tangling your lines right on the hook.
In your rod locker?
Yeah.
Huh. Are you does that doesn't work.
Why wouldn't it work? It was a Little John.
Yeah, I saw it. Spro Little John. I like those flat sides. I got a few of them. Bait games? Sure. Crankbaits are my weakness, though. I don't have a deep bench of knowledge on crankbaits. I know what I use. Do you fish that around grass? The Spro Little John. I think you fish that everywhere in the fall.
Yeah, it's pretty good crankbait. Not great around grass. It gets the job. I mean, I would much rather fish a DT4 or DT6 around grass.
Oh, I love DT4s. DT4 is my favorite.
I'd say probably more fishing around wooden rocks. I think I caught a monster walleye on the Mississippi River. Is what I was throwing.
Sexy shad.
Didn't know that, but
yeah, it's for Little John. I mean, that's kind of like the nice thing about those Little Johns. They're easy flat side to get. Like most stores sell those. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a rare, hard to find
Good
flat
value bait.
They're not that cheap though. They're kind of expensive.
No, I mean if you compare it to other flat sides, like if you compare it to like
HellaBass side,
it's a deal. But like, yeah, flat sides are usually not cheap.
No, that's true. Are those Little Johns? They're plastic or are they balsa? They're not balsa. They're plastic, right?
They're plastic.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete. Can you guys carry Sonic Side, HellaBass Sonic Sides, please? That would be nice.
Only if they're good sellers.
I don't care. I just want to buy them. I don't care if they sit on the shelf. Because cappers won't get me Sonic Sides, and I ask them to, and they never do. Yeah, what do you got? You have access to your tackle. I actually put all my stuff out in the boat. And my tackle archive. Jerkbaits. We got jerkbaits. All right.
We'll go back to
Back
in my club days. What I used to catch bass on in Wisconsin in the pre-spawn.
Okay. It's not a Rapala.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little husky jerk.
It's a little husky jerk.
Yeah. What's that?
That's just my intro to.
Small husky jerk. Yeah.
That's what my jerkbait. Here's a bigger one.
I don't even keep husky jerks in my boat anymore. I have them, but they're just stored away.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad?
So I'd say that's probably one I would throw a lot back in Wisconsin back in the day.
You lead core it? You lead core and drag it?
Probably not.
The husky jerk is still beloved by walleye fishermen around the world for its lead core dragging abilities.
Oh, there's a random lead strip just floating around the box. Probably was attached to a beta one. So
Ooh, I like the clown.
For a while. Probably tried some X-Wraps.
X-Wrap clown. That's the ultimate pike bait. Smallmouth too. I like to think that's traps.
What would be the next logical step to step up your jerkbait game?
I would say like a KVD, probably. You kind of that's the progression. You go from husky
to KVDs.
Oh, Rogues, Smithwicks. See, Kenny said the same thing. Rogue, Smithwick, Rogue.
No, we made a big jump.
Oh yeah, Lucky Craft Pointer. That's a good one, Pete.
Try to get in the pointer game.
Well done, Pete. Pointers.
Before Megabass, pointers were those were the Cadillac.
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, they're the expensive ones. There's still you can get good deals on pointers. I see them go on sale once in a while. I've seen them go for like 50% off, and I've been tempted to buy like
Lucky Crafts cost like $8 now.
Right. What happened? They used to be the high end. Now maybe it's just them being popular. They've been able to lower the price.
Supply and demand, I think.
Right. Well, the more you sell, the cheaper they can make them.
Then I played around with these guys for a while.
I don't have my jerkbait box. It's out in the boat.
Although
I have some stuff. I have some stuff. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you throw a straight white jerkbait ever?
Yeah.
A pearl? I mean, just when do you throw it?
We'll get to that. Those are?
No, I do not. I can't see the head. What's the head? You're covering the head. Oh, man. No, I don't. That's not ringing a bell.
That's a very distinct eye, if you know those.
No, I've never owned one of those. I usually can tell if I've owned it. I don't think I've owned that. RC stick?
No.
No.
It's a.
IMA?
There you go, Pete. It's an EMA flip.
Nice. Good job, Pete. I still call it IMA. I know it's not IMA, but in my heart, it's IMA.
So yeah, you were talking about the French pearl.
Yeah, straight white. I got that same one, the yellow belly.
This is the RC. These are both RC mixed, or the RCs.
Yeah, those are nice.
I like these smallies, like Vermilion, tannic water.
Right, because it looks like tula beads. You eat a lot of tula beads. I love throwing white swim baits at Vermilion. It gets bit pretty good. Well, white swim baits get bit anywhere there's tannic water. Yeah, the pearl. Oh no, that's the GG perch. Yeah. Yep. Everybody's got one of those. I'd love to see the percentage of jerkbait fishermen that have that exact jerkbait in Minnesota. I'd say like everybody. It's like standard issue. Yep.
Lots of.
Have you bought any of the new matte color, the matte magics?
No.
I picked up a couple because I'm a whore and I can't help myself.
Where's that one that was? I had one that was busted up. This one's got some teeth rashes in it. This one must have caught some fish. Pro Blue.
Yeah, Pro Blue is like pretty much one of the standards, especially out in like California.
Deep. What are these ones called?
Yeah, Pro Blue is real popular out in the West Coast.
Some bud color and the Rapala. Was it the deep?
Oh, that's the Shadow Wrap. Shadow Wrap. Do you use the Shadow Wrap?
Shadow Wrap, I'm not impressed with.
I don't like the way they cast. They don't cast very far. They're hard to throw.
They don't catch up.
Do you switch troubles into Megabass? So Chris, I will say I do. Once the stock ones bend out, they will eventually.
Only when they wear out.
Right. You'll get a lot of life out of them unless you're really on some big fish, and then they'll bend them out. Oh yeah, you lost the tail. Aw.
This one, I was absolutely crushing the fish on in pool 2, and then I bounced it off some rocks.
Oh, sad. Have you literally reached out? If you send Megabass a picture of that, they'll typically replace that. They will. They have really good customer service on warranty. Like, seriously, take a picture, send it to Megabass, be like, hey, I threw it, hit a rock, it broke. They'll replace that, even if you bought it like 5 years ago.
5?
Yeah, they don't care. They'll replace their baits if you break them.
At least 10 years old.
Well, either way, just tell them you bought it yesterday.
Probably more than 5 years ago.
No, seriously, a lot of people don't know that if one of your Megabass baits gets broken or screws up, they'll pretty much give you a free one.
Dylan.
Oh, Dylan Duffy. Dylan's awesome, man. Cool kid. Shout out to Dylan and his dad. Dylan fishes in Greenhorn now, and kid's a stick. Jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, broken bill. Are you talking about a Rapala? We got swim jigs with the grub. Is that a Outcast or is that one of yours?
This is a Super K.
Super K? I don't know what Super K is.
They're out of Wisconsin, hand-tied.
It looks nice. I like swim jigs that have a little thinner of a skirt.
Yeah, these do. These only have the top of the skirt, right? So they're only the inside of the skirt's not there. It's only the top.
Oh, so cool. That's nice.
That's what most of the legit river swim jigs are. They won't have that inside. They'll only have the outside, like a Brevard Super K.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, most of those, like all those, right, they only have the inside.
Got it. I mean, theoretically, you could just trim those off.
Definitely look at Super Ks for sure.
Well, theoretically, if you have a swim jig, you could just cut off that inner material yourself if you want. Get the same effect.
Bluegill.
Rage. You like the Rage? I like the Rage Menace as a swim jig trailer.
A little spicy beaver on the back, a little bit bigger.
Spicy beaver is good. Spicy beavers are.
That one, that's a lethal weapon. It actually has the
white on white.
Yeah, chartreuse and white.
After reading all that data, and now that bass pretty much see white and chartreuse is kind of the same, that makes a lot of sense. That one's seen better days.
That one got all chewed up. Skirt totally fell off.
That's awesome. Why do you still have it? Are you going to repair it?
No. So this is kind of one thing. Back in the day when Greg owned Super K, he would tie my jigs. I would order them with red thread ties.
Yeah, little. Oh, I heard about this. It's
just a little flash, so when it would flare, you'd get a little glimpse of it, or I don't know.
I call it like when the skirt blows up and there's something like red underneath, right? So what are they called? Super K?
Yeah.
They got to be on Facebook, right?
You got really fancy packaging.
That's you buy those off of Amazon in bulk. Super K Fishing? Is that them?
Yeah. These guys are really good, legit. Rovarni baits.
Rovarni?
My Wart box? I don't really have a Wart box, but I've got some Warts hanging over here.
All right, I'm going to follow your Super K Jigs on Facebook now. Check them out.
Kenny wants to see some Warts.
What?
Look at Warts.
Oh, you want to see Wart box. I was going to say, if you want to see Warts, that's a little personal, don't you think?
So if it says Wiggle Wart on the bottom,
That's legit.
The deal.
Right. The OGs.
So all of those just hanging there, hanging out.
You just wait until they go higher in value so you can sell them
Those
on
are all
eBay.
original. I mean, they're not prime colors, but you could get them painted.
Right.
Those are all the...
What do those go for now on the aftermarket?
I don't know. Muddy River? Yeah. When the guy's not busy duck hunting, he makes a decent jig. What did Kenny say? What do you agree with Kenny?
I'm looking at... Wow, this guy pumps out a lot of jigs on Super K. Holy cow.
He's got a bazillion colors.
Dude, those custom jig makers always have like 35 colors. Crazy.
And he will tie anything you want.
Super K Jigs. Oh, he's got 20% off codes. Now he's talking my language. I'm a code collector. Kenny, how many OG Wiggle Warts do you guys got? I'm
I have
not
a bunch of crankbaits. I don't know why.
crankbaits.
They're all for 10. Here's a cool one. This is
All right.
You're into unique stuff. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna eBay Wiggle Wart. Is there a way you can distinctly tell? So you said the Wiggle Warts that have the name on the bottom are
Yeah,
the
the Wiggle Wart under the bill, I guess that's what.
pre-Rapala Wiggle Wart.
I should probably just take this out of my box, but. So this is a Zoom WEC Ed Chambers Balsa bait, handmade.
That looks awesome.
This is the E2. It's got engraved on the lid.
Where'd you get that?
I won it in a fancy fishing contest. It actually,
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you can see that. It's got Kevin Short's signature on it.
That's badass.
Probably shouldn't just let it roll around in my box. I tried it on the Watchtower River. I've actually fished this bait.
Why not? You only get a hunt in September and you lose it forever. All right, I'm gonna check the eBay sales on checking sold items.
Back in the day, the Sabile that had like the liquid in it. That was,
Oh, is that
mine
aged
all
well?
froze and like dried out, but it used to have like this gel that would like flow and there'd be like crystals and like.
When you design a lipless, why would you think to put liquid inside of it? It's so strange.
The guy that ran Sabile, or Patrick Sabile, he was kind of like out there with all his stuff.
Little bit of it. Okay, so I'm looking right now at completed sales for pre-Rapala Storm Wiggle Warts. It seems like the average price is about $16 to $25.
Yeah, I think if you have the really good colors, like those spring craws and those phantom craws, you'll get the bigger money. But
there's a couple that are going for like $50. Like I'm talking about sold.
probably not great right now when people are not like. But
dude, now's a great time to shop for stuff. If you want to buy things and you want to make if you want to splurge on shit that you weren't going to buy, now's a good time to go buy that stuff because everyone, that's
bass is a really popular color up here for the old Wiggle Warts.
That's really nice. I like how beat up that one is. That looks cool. I like a little patina, right?
There's another one. Kind of a
That was a shad pattern, it looks like.
shad pattern, black neck, stuck to a bunch of bandits.
You like bandits? I like the bandit 100s, but I haven't really gone past those.
I got a bunch of them. I don't know that I throw them all that much.
I like them, but yeah, they're not any special.
A couple more wiggle warts stuck to a bunch of things.
What do you crank with? Which Dobbins?
704 and 705s for this type of stuff. This is one of my favorite crankbaits that I actually catch a lot of fish on. Is the EMA square bill.
EMA square bill.
Your little circuit board lip on it.
Right. Yeah, I like the circuit
board.
EMA.
Those are all mangled.
EMA square bill. Who sells EMA around here? Anybody? Like locally?
I don't know if anybody does.
Because I know you gotta go to the specialty shops for EMA. Yeah. World Fishing Alliance joined. Ooh, that sounds really official.
Perch. This is a really cool color. Like, this is just like a 1.5 aftermarket knockoff that was painted, but I really like the color on this. It's like a phantom crown red splatter.
So it's like a yellow goldish base.
Yeah, with a phantom craw pattern. It's got a little bit of scale.
Right.
It's got some spatter blue and spatter red on it.
Yeah, that's not a color you see very often, that's for sure. Usually it's all red or blue, with those kind of faded craws.
I spent too much time watching Smallmouth Crush and Epic Eric lately.
Oh, dude, I've been watching. You can't watch them in one sitting because they're like 4 hours long. They went 4 hours
in the spring.
Dude, they went 4 hours and 30 minutes one night. I was like, seriously?
I throw like a 7.5 4-power Action Dobbins. It's kind of a prototype. But otherwise, when I don't use it, I use a 734 Champion. And I typically, most of it is 17-pound fluoro.
Really? You go that heavy? I suppose for the river you want heavy fluoro, right?
Oh, look, more wiggle warts.
The IMA. How many? You do have a few of those. You got a bunch of those.
These are supposed to be pretty in demand now, right? These Rapala flat sides that people like, they don't make anymore.
Yeah, they discontinued them. The flat.
They're coming back.
The DT flats, right?
I do think that was a Morgan's. That does sound right, Chris. Actually, surprising you knew that.
What do you use for the chatter chicken and swim jigs in the spring?
This is
chatter
fish.
Was he talking about chatter chicken? Is that like a way to talk?
Chatterbait, basically.
I don't know. Is that slang that I don't know?
I don't know. Chatter wagon, chatter chicken.
Okay. Or vibrating jig, as they call it on the.
This one's not. This one's a storm on the bottom. It doesn't say wiggle wart.
Yeah, that's probably not the.
Not the new one. I like the color on the rum in the fall.
You crank on the rum? I try to crank on the rum, and I don't catch much. You know, I live literally like 5 minutes from the Anoka County Fairgrounds ramp.
This may be literally one of the worst crankbaits that Rapala ever made right here.
Ooh. Oh, Skitter Walk? No, I'm sorry. That's not the Skitter Walk. That's like the Scatter Wrap. Is that what it's called? Scatter Wrap?
It was a Scatter Wrap.
Yeah. Those things were in discount bins for about 8 years. Like you couldn't walk into a Cabela's or any shop and not see those things in the discount bin. They were always there. Nobody ever bought them.
What's this one?
Why do you still have one in your box? Do you ever throw it?
I just lost. That's actually a pretty good color. Look at one of the old ones there. That one actually probably would fetch a little money.
Yeah, it seems like they're selling, but they're not like cash.
Well, you have to wait till one of those tournaments, those derbies, is happening, and then they get fired back up again.
Right.
When a Sprint or a Toyota Series or an Open rolls through there, or somebody wins one on it, and then it's all like.
Right. Yeah, you got to be pretty tuned into that.
For a guy that only throws jigs, I got a lot of crankbaits. Not gonna lie.
You know why? Because they're fun to buy. Because you think like, oh, I'm gonna throw that. A lot of crankbait purchases are thrown at, or like they're aspiration purchases. Like, oh, I'm totally gonna throw that, and then you never do.
Fish on. This is a EMA shaker. It's a flat side.
Yeah, that's a tall one.
Yeah,
that's really
tall.
Well,
early like pool 2, early river cranking with that. These are kind of interesting. See
Where
if
do you
anybody
buy
knows.
it?
Let's see. Let's test Pete and anybody else that wants to play along. You paying attention?
So Tackle Warehouse is like the only place you can get the EMA cranks. EMA.
You know what that is. Actually, Epic Eric showed one of these on his stream the other night.
I don't know.
We got a couple of them.
I have no idea. Yeah, you do. I like the gills. Those are like carved in. That's pretty cool.
Anybody?
Someone said Phantom?
No, that was something else.
Oh.
Ready? Oh, is there a delay that you didn't see him?
He said ready. Bomber? Black Label?
Older than Black Label, before Black Label. These are older. They don't make these anymore.
So, Chris, what line?
Higher end than, no, not Norman. Come on. We're talking like unique stuff, not stuff you just buy off the shelf at Walmart.
Is it are they Balsa?
I think they are because I think I've got like dents in them.
So they're Balsa, so that narrows it down.
Maybe there's something. Because like I've got some of these have like cracks in them. And
Are they hand carved or are they production?
they're definitely a low run. I don't know, like circuit board lip.
Right.
It's got like a copper wire tie in it. Like so, they're definitely. It's Reaction Innovations Method Crank.
Wait, Method Crank?
It's called the Method Crank.
I didn't even know they made cranks.
It was a while ago, back when they had like the Squeaky Dolphin and some of that stuff, like some of their old baits that were. I guess the thing about these, what they would say about these Method Cranks is you'd have to buy 12 to get one that actually ran decent and would catch fish.
Okay, you're going to like this. I found a Tackle Tour review of the limited edition Method Crank. You want guess what the date is on this review? You want to guess?
2008.
2006. So yeah, those are old, man. Hold on to those things. Oh, dude, I'm looking at the pictures of this Tackle Tour. It's got like carved, like I don't know, scales, ridges on the back.
Yeah, like if you look, like the gill actually had dimensions to it. You can see there's actually a
right. Yeah, there's pictures on this. There's pictures on this review, and it looks pretty sick. $15 MSRP in 2006. That's a ransom back then.
And I was dumb enough to buy 3 of them.
Okay, wait. You might not be dumb. Let's see what they're going for on the aftermarket. I bet you there's 0 for sale on eBay.
There may not be any.
That's what I'm saying. I bet you there's nothing. Method. It's a cool name. I like that. Method Crank. Reminds me of skateboarding, like the trick method, Method Air.
Oh, here's my other.
Ooh, there's one right now on eBay for buy it now for $25. There's actually a bunch of these.
Here's the E1. I showed you the E2 earlier. This is the WEC E1.
Oh, that's nice. Dude, that thing is sweet. What's on the top? Is it like brown on the top or gold?
Kind of a iridescent purple into chrome brown, like it kind of fades.
That thing has like 5 colors going on. It's like 2 on the top, and then 2 fades, and then there's like a pink, or there's like a orange on the lip.
An orange on the belly. It's got kind of a white on the bottom, fading into kind of a yellow chartreuse, and then kind of a green blue gill pattern into a purple chrome bronze back with an orange belly.
So, out of all the baits you've shown me so far, that one I want. That one like looks awesome. So what is that one again?
This is the Zoom WEC E1.
I'm guessing you can't get that.
They don't make him anymore now that I think he passed Ed Chambers. So I don't think that there are some other companies that make similar baits.
What?
I would say search WEC E1.
I think, is it EI or E1?
Maybe it's EI.
I think it's EI. Yeah, it's EI. Dude, those things are going for money.
Epic Eric got shit on me.
Okay, dude, there's a bunch of these for open auctions, and they're all over $35 with a ton of bids. You shouldn't throw that one. That one's like a $50 crankbait.
Well, the other one that's an E2 or an EII with Kevin Short's signature on it too.
Dude, holy shit! One of those went for $77. A black chartreuse went for $78. Yeah, don't throw those.
I could sell this and I could get myself a new Omnia hat for this broken one I have.
I'm not seeing that color pattern as a sold. Oh, I see it. It's right here. It's called Dolphin.
Yeah, sounds right. Okay.
So the last Dolphin sold for $46. Like sold, not listed. Actually sold. Yeah, dude, those are like $50 crankbaits, man. They're worth the money.
No big deal.
That's cool though. The one that sold for $77 was a black chartreuse, which is like kind of boring compared to the one you showed.
Weird because like everybody makes a black chartreuse, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's kind of a boring color.
And it's not a hard one to get custom painted, right? Like anybody could paint you a black chartreuse, like.
Right. The Dolphin one's pretty sick.
Black and chartreuse.
Right.
River to Sea.
Chris says, does it catch fish? It doesn't matter. It looks badass.
River to Sea, Big Papa, black and chartreuse. Like.
Right. Pickerel, love them. Everyone always says that. Anytime you show off a cool bait, everyone says, oh, pike, love them, or pickerel, love them. Like,
honestly, the only time I ever threw those baits is when I was fishing cypress trees on the Watchtower River in the Bassmaster Nation National Championship, which I was one tournament away from the Bassmaster Classic.
That's awesome.
That's the only time I've thrown it.
What year was that?
Probably 6 years ago now, 7.
Wow. So you've been bass tournament fishing a long ass time.
Yeah,
when did you start?
Started fishing in the club when I was like 16.
And you haven't stopped since? How old are you?
42, I think. About to turn 42.
I'm 39. I'm going to be 40 this summer. So yeah, we're pretty much. I don't think it matters. This is a number. I don't give a shit. Everyone's like, oh, you're going to have to do something for your 40th? I'm like, I literally don't care.
No, because you're going to be in quarantine.
That's a good point. We'll have a Zoom party. We'll do a podcast.
Turns 12 on Friday.
Oh, that's awesome. You go, well, awesome she's turning 12, but not awesome she can't, have a party.
We're going to draw, like, squares on the driveway, and a few of our friends are going to come over and have cupcakes and stand 6 feet apart in the driveway or something.
That's not a bad idea. Gotta be careful with the Facebook police, man. They take pictures of you throwing a party in your driveway, and they'll be like, look at this asshole. One thing that shocked me about this whole COVID thing is how quick people are to complain about other people. Like, just full stop. Like, everyone bitches about everybody else now. Like, it's crazy.
Well, now we have unlimited time to bitch about those people because we don't have to go to work, and so it's like.
Well, there's a dog park over in in Anoka, like this big giant dog park, and I love it because it's like the one place I can go take my dog and kids, and we can go walk laps around the dog park to get outside a little bit. And of course, I see a Facebook post like, oh, there's people gathering at the dog park and they're sitting around talking to each other, and like, why is the sheriff shutting this down? Because they're gathering at more than 10. And I'm like, don't take my one thing. Don't, please, like, shut up. It's the one thing we can go do.
Just wait till people start partying on Big Island and every access on Minnetonka gets shut down.
Oh my God. That's inevitable. Chris Blank, are you a 911 dispatcher? Is that your job? If so, man, shout out. That's a crazy gig. So Chris Blank said, what do you throw for, big spoons?
I mean, why did I think I was going to catch any fish up here on this? But why did I buy it? I have no idea.
You could chuck that around for pike all day.
I already said it. Cat's out of the bag.
So Chris said, what do you throw for chatterbait rods? Last year I threw exclusively a 7.2 medium heavy glass X Pride, which I really liked. I was surprised at how little you feel bites on that rod. I thought you'd like feel bites, like when a fish took it, I thought you're going to feel like any kind of vibration or a thunk or anything. But every time you catch a fish on that medium heavy X Pride, it's like you're caught on something, like you hung up and you don't know you got a fish until you feel a head shake. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to that. But this year I'm going to throw a Diablo Spec R Megabass along with the X Pride and just see what the differences are. Just because I don't know why. Just for myself. Just for fun.
Cade show up? Oh, the Cade. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. You have a way cooler crankbait collection than I do. I lose cranks and then I just rebuy them. Ooh, you got some glide baits.
JSJ snack size trout.
How heavy is that? 2 ouncer?
Couple ounces, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a two ouncer.
Some Matt Lures gills.
That's really nice. That looks like a good bed bait. A little big, but.
Got some Huddlestons.
Yeah. Do you throw HUDs around here at all? Or do you save that? You get bit?
This little guy, this weedless HUD is a
dynamite
little, it's not very big. It's
stumpy. It's got a little tail. Holy cow.
It's got a hook in there. Like now,
how much those cost?
So this one is actually interesting. This one it's got a number on. This is the 239th bait that they made.
Oh, that's cool. So that's like is that plastic or wood? It's gotta be plastic.
I think it's a hand resin poured.
Oh, mold. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like really like batch, like low production.
Well, yeah, because a lot of those guys, they hand carve the mold, or they hand carve the bait, and then they injection mold it.
Like this is like if you want to get into glide bait fishing, this 168 River to Sea for whatever, like 16 bucks or whatever. This is
right, dude. That thing is like a gateway drug into glide baits, kind of like the Megabass eye slide, like stuff you can get for under $40. That's just you can just go out and throw with the stuff you already have.
The old True Tungsten 7-inch gill.
That thing looks heavy.
It is pretty big.
I mean, like weight. Yeah, see, I'm a more of a finesse spinning rod guy. I don't go into the big glide baits. The biggest
cool thing about these is they had these pins. I need pliers to probably get it out, but you pull the pin, and then can't really see, but in there's a chamber that you could slide these tungsten balls in.
Oh yeah, you can add the weight to change how.
You could change it from a floater to a slow sink, or
that's been a trend. That's been a bigger trend lately with the glide baits, is putting the transferable balls inside and out so you can change the balance. There's a few companies that are doing that now. Nope.
It's a Dream Smasher.
Oh, okay. Do you ever throw any Beast Coast stuff?
Yeah.
No?
Not my favorite people at Beast Coast.
What's that?
Not my favorite people at Beast Coast.
Why is that?
They used to be Evolve. We'll have a little bit of history with them.
Ah.
And this is what is this one? This is a California Swim Babes line through.
So Dream Smasher has a 4-inch gill that's got a flat front part, so you can fish it like on the bottom, like a jig. What's not cool? Only $23. Not super expensive. The line through. So Gaff is wondering who makes that line.
I've got some of those. Where are they? Maybe they're in. Where are my Dream Smashers?
Dream Smashers. These Dream Smashers are pretty inexpensive. Like, they're not as spendy as I thought they would be.
They're not crazy. They're not.
Like $25 to $50. top hook shad or the weedless? Wait, so you're
showed it
the
the other night.
were you throwing that weedless Dream Smasher, or was that the top hook one?
I think I only have the top hooks.
Oh, the weedless one was in a small hut. The Huddleston. So Chris Blank says he likes those East Coast flipping jigs. I was looking at those on the website the other day, and they actually look pretty nice. I agree. Those are tempting to buy, but I have too many flipping jigs as it is. I don't need them. They have a 20% off code right now on East Coast. Yeah.
There's a Osprey tournament swim bait. I bought this one for Gunnersville and never threw it.
That is really translucent. It's got like a white belly, or is it just straight? That's pretty nice. Looks really soft. Is it Osprey?
Tactical bass and impulse buy.
Oh, when they said this is cool and you went and bought it?
Is anybody, raise your hand. Have you ever bought stuff because you watched a tactical bass and it was like, oh, I'm going to catch them on that? Like, oh my gosh.
Dude, what they got me with was I started trying to figure out who the hell had the big bite smallie smashers, plastics. Nobody has those damn things. Like, you can get them on Tackle Warehouse, but like, I called up, I messaged Ross at Capras. I'm like, dude, get me some of these big bite smallie smashers. He's like, they only have like 5 of them through their supplier, and then they were gone. I gotta get them.
I used to throw these more, these weedless huts.
Those look cool. How do you miss fish on them?
Sometimes, but you miss fish on all swim baits a little bit. But
well, I mean, but the way you're squeezing it down, it looks like you got to really get that hook.
It's pretty soft. It's like almost like a hollow body frog. Like it's.
Oh.
There's like a big empty chamber. It's pretty soft.
So what?
It's definitely. I mean, a top hook is better, but sometimes you can't fish a top hook. So.
Right. So we just
better hookup with the top hook.
Right. Huddleston weedless. See, I didn't even know they had weedless. That you had to bury the hook out in the belly. That's pretty cool.
That irritated. I don't know where my Dream Smasher gills are right now.
So Huddleston weedless swim baits are $26.
Go to rod. I only have. I have some of both. I think I have more 5s. Jacob, Rate of Fall 5s. I have a 795 Champion swim bait rod that I use for some of these bigger ones. Otherwise, I just use one of my like big jig rods for some of these swim baits.
Well, the rating matters because when you get up into that 2 ounce plus, then you got to have something a little extra. You know, I mean, if you have a swim bait that's 1.5 ounces or less. Oh, True Bass. Yep, I got some of those.
Actually, those are really good.
Dude, those things are super indestructible. Like you can stretch them forever.
They are very tough. There's another like a top hook Dream Smasher.
You got a bunch of those. That's like perch one. The only thing that sucks about those True Bass baits is how much they cost. Like they're flipping expensive.
The True Bass?
Yeah. Dude, they're like for a pack of 5. They're like, what's the price? I'm gonna look it up.
There's one of the orange guild or something about Dream Smasher.
Okay, so verify. Okay, so that's so you can fish in the bed, right? Just drop it on the bottom. Yeah. So you can swim it or fish it like a jig.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good bed bait. That's pretty sweet. Those things aren't that expensive. They're like $20.
Yeah, those are all hand poured. He does those by hand.
How often do you fish that thing?
I like to fish them when I'm fun fishing. I don't throw them typically when I'm tournament fishing. So.
Right. Yeah, True Bass, a pack of 4 or 5 is $10.
They hold up though. Like, I mean,
right.
when I was down in Gunnersville catching fish, I could usually get a whole day out of a swim bait. So.
Right. I've been meaning to throw those things on Relax, but I always forget I have them. You know what I mean? There's so many baits sometimes that you're like, I want to throw that.
A little bit on the Mississippi, and I caught a few nice fish, fishing below the spillway and things like that last fall.
Right. Maybe I should bust
here,
out.
Because what swim baits are you talking about, Chris? Like, depends on the swim bait. Like this guy, you can throw this anywhere around here. This is
right.
That's a glorified swim jig. Honestly, it's pretty small.
That's the 4-inch DSS gill on Dream Smasher. It's $24.
If you'd swim a 1/2 ounce flipping
1.5.
I mean, just to give you, like, this thing's not, it feels intimidating because it looks big, but it's not that big.
Well, it's only 1.5 ounces too. So if you got a heavy frog rod, you could fish that thing.
This definitely, yeah, I throw this on like a 4, a heavy or medium heavy.
Right.
7-foot rod. You don't need anything special for this.
Right.
The bigger, I mean, like even these, like you can even throw these on a big jig rod. These aren't. Once you start getting bites on swim baits, they don't feel so big.
That's a good point. I throw the mag draft around a little bit. That's pretty much about it.
I think like 6-inch baits are pretty much anywhere around here you can throw them. When you start getting to the 8-inch baits, that's where it really, you got to be on the right lake with the right forage around here, I think. But 6-inch baits, you can throw them anytime. But like, I definitely think there's a place for these more so in a team tournament than in a solo tournament.
Oh, so you can go for that big bite hunting.
The guy in front can flip a jig or throw a rattle trap or throw a spinnerbait and catch 1 to 3 pounders, and the guy in the back can commit to hopefully catching a kicker or 2 or a couple game-changing bites. I think that's probably the better scenario in Minnesota for these little bit bigger swim baits. But
question: has that actually worked? Have you been in a situation where you did get a big bite off the swim bait with a co-angler throwing it?
I don't fish a lot
of theory.
But
what's that?
I don't fish a lot of team tournaments, so I can't say that I have a scenario, but it makes sense.
I know. I was saying it sounds good on paper, but I wonder in theory if that would actually work.
I guess it's how confident you are on the other person to do the job. So
right. Totally.
It's done. He's done it.
It sounds cool. I should definitely try throwing a swim bait around just for that big bite. It's a confidence thing, right? Like you got to have a couple in your arsenal that you're comfortable throwing. You got the right gear set up for it. You got the right rod. Right.
If you don't do it when you're out fun fishing, you don't do it in practice, it's hard to break it out in a tournament.
I haven't been in a tournament yet where I saw anyone throwing around a glide bait.
But I think you get more bites on baits like this, or more commits, than you do on glide baits. But you're going to see more fish. You're going to have more action on glide baits. You're going to see the biggest fish in the lake, but you're not always going to get them to commit.
They'll at least follow you to the boat.
Right. And I am not going to extend this, and I'm actually going to probably watch an episode of Ozark. And then
that's fine, man.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
I've been watching Ozark.
On these, check my latest Instagram post and sign up, and I'll put you on the group chat for getting notified.
Oh, yeah.
Catch you guys later.
Hey, guys. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, hope you picked up a few tips, help you suck less and catch more bass.